we have bases on Greenland. Yeah.
Are you going to make more?
I can put a lot of soldiers there right now if I want, but you need more than that. You need ownership.
What happens when a NATO country uses force against another NATO member state? For starters, the US is currently asserting its intent to annex Greenland under the US's so-called Monroe Doctrine, a modern twist on the Monroe Doctrine outlining US dominance over the Western Hemisphere. Greenland is an autonomous territory of the Kingdom of Denmark, a founding member of NATO. As such, it falls under the alliance's collective defense guarantees. This raises a question. How does a security pact designed to confront external threats handle an internal aggressor? The North Atlantic Treaty was drafted in 1949 as a collective security pact against external expansionism. The alliance consists of 32 countries. So, what are the treaty implications when one NATO member state uses force against another? There are three primary legal and structural factors at play within the treaty. First, NATO's Article 5 stipulates that an attack on one ally is an attack on all. Crucially, the treaty does not distinguish between an external adversary and an internal aggressor. Legal scholars note that Denmark could formally invoke the clause against the US. However, because Washington provides the majority of NATO's military funding and leadership, such a move could trigger immediate political paralysis or even the end of NATO.
Men jeg vil også gøre klart, at hvis USA vælger at angribe et andet NATO-land militært, så hører alting op.
Secondly, NATO decisions require unanimous consensus, and since there's no formal mechanism to expel a member, the US could veto any official response or military mobilization against its own actions. To sidestep this gridlock, several European states have launched Operation Arctic Endurance. This non-NATO exercise involves France, Germany and the UK deploying tripwire troops to Greenland's capital Nuuk at the invitation of the Danish government. By operating outside the formal NATO structure, these allies look to establish a physical deterrent without being blocked by a US veto. Finally, there's Article 1 of the treaty, which binds all members to settle international disputes by peaceful means. An invasion would constitute a material breach of the treaty, allowing other members to suspend the treaty in whole or in part under international law. In this event, NATO would likely cease to function as a single entity, effectively bifurcating the alliance into two camps, the US on one side and a European-led coalition on the other.